Kristen. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and all-day wear test of Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This product has been pretty popular. It's gotten quite a bit of hype. So today I'm going to put it on half of my face and leave half of my face without it and go ahead and do all of my makeup and wear it all day and keep checking back in to see how it holds up to have the primer versus not having it at all. Alright, so like I said, Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is not the first time I've used it. I actually decided to do this review because I'm such a big fan of the product. I've been using it for a while, not affiliated with them in any way, but it's the best primer that I've found, so I wanted to share it with you guys when I got a new package of it and then do a test where I did compare what it looked like to have it versus not having it at all, because I haven't seen them side by side before. So we'll see kind of how that goes and the difference of the different sides of my face throughout the day. So the plan is to put the primer on this side of my face and to leave this side of my face with no primer at all. I'm not going to use any setting spray today because I don't want that to affect how the makeup stays on. I want it to be purely the primer. And then I'm going to keep checking in all throughout the day to see how they're holding up compared to each other. So here's our product here. It says hemp-derived cannabis extract hydrates to plump and smooth for blissed out skin. A shot of blue agave holds makeup all day for a fresh finish. Aloe water, cherry blossom, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin B boost skin for a healthier looking base. It's oil-free, silicone-free, green tinted formula, goes on clear to work across all skin tones and types. So the reason that I picked this one was because I have very, very dry skin to the point where sometimes it'll be like peeling off, and obviously that's gross. I don't want that. So I work really hard to keep my skin soft and smooth so that doesn't happen. Anytime I use a more full coverage foundation, which is what I like to use, it'll often kind of grip on to that dry skin and make it look even worse. So I wanted to find something that I could put under my makeup that would prevent that from happening and let me use the foundations and makeup that I wanted to wear. So this has been really great for me. We're going to try kind of comparing it, and I feel like it does a pretty good job. So we'll see how they look side by side. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. It's got a pretty nice package here. It's got like these reflective sides. It's pretty. We'll open the box. Here's what the packaging looks like. There's a good amount in there. It's kind of a pretty green color. I don't feel like the green actually does anything for like neutralizing reds, but maybe it does a little bit. It seems to go on more clear for me. Nice reflective coating there. So according to the package, this has 1.52 fluid ounces in it. It was about $30 before tax, so you know, it's a little pricey, but they tend to last me a long time. I started with the half size. They have a $15 half size that you can try, and then the $30 full size. I'll make sure to link both of those in the description. And I really liked that because I didn't have to commit to the full price big product. I could just give it a little try before I spent that much money on something, but I did feel like it lasted me a long time. Just the half product lasted me a couple months, so I expect the full product to last me twice that. So I don't have a problem paying $30 if it's going to last me that long, because then when you divide it out, it's like a few cents a day. So if you're looking for a good primer and you're okay with spending a little bit more, this is a very good one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this on half of my face. So normally I would do one pump for my entire face, so I'm going to do a little bit less than that since we're just doing half. So it's got like a nice pump here, probably got some air in the tube since it's brand new, but so I'd say this is about half of a full pump. We're just going to put it on this half over here, make sure we really get the nose. So it's definitely gel-like. If I compared it to anything, it would be like after sun lotion. like the creams that you put on after you get a sunburn. It's kind of what it feels like. It definitely, after it's been on for a couple seconds, you can definitely feel it start to get sticky. That's one thing I was worried about. I hadn't really done the stickier primers before. I had done more of like the pore closing, like skin smoothing type. And so I was like, oh, is my face going to be sticky? But as soon as you put the foundation over it, that stickiness completely goes away and your face does not feel sticky at all. So you've got stickiness over here, and then here's just plain skin. Right off the bat, you can see like this side is definitely shinier because it's got that liquidy product on it. This side obviously has nothing. So we're going to cover that up, but you can just kind of see the difference already. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. This is in the shade Vanilla. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this on my entire face. So I'm doing about one pump. And I'm going to do everything just like normal and just kind of compare the feeling of it. I'm just using my damp beauty blender, just like I always would. My nose tends to be what gets the most dry, so I'm curious to see how it will compare over there. So as far as how the application feels, I feel like it's about the same. I'm not noticing any kind of difference in the effort that it takes to apply it or anything like that. I didn't put this primer on my eyelids, but I'm still going to spread a little foundation there just so I've got a nice even skin tone everywhere. Okay, so there's our foundation. Immediately, I'm not telling a huge difference. It does seem to look a little bit smoother on this side, but it's not very noticeable. I'm kind of checking the mirror down here. Right now they're about even, so we're just going to keep checking back and see how they do once I apply more products and wear it throughout the day and all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this makeup look and then check back in and let you know kind of how the application went, and then we'll keep checking in to see how our primer's doing. Alright, so now I've got a full makeup look here. I opted not to do eyeshadow because I didn't want to distract from the primer at all or risk touching too much and wiping anything off on one side but not the other, because I'm trying to keep everything very, very even. So what I did was I went ahead and did my concealer, the setting powder under my eyes, went ahead and did my contour, blush, and highlighter, put on a little mascara and lipstick, and that's it. I did not do any kind of setting spray, and I didn't use setting powder all over my whole face. I wanted to make sure that did not affect the results of this test. So a couple little things that I noticed right off the bat. This only took me about 10 minutes, so there's not going to be much results yet as far as the test of time, but just with looking at myself closer in a mirror and putting on makeup, I did notice a couple little things. I'll try and zoom on this. It might be a little hard for you to see on video, but I have very deep pores on either side of my nose. So I always have to put primers there so that you don't see like little dots there and it's not an uneven coverage. Over here it looks pretty good. It looks how it normally does. And then over here you can kind of see like every pore because I don't have any primer on at all. So far that's the first immediate difference, is you can kind of see on the sides of the nose where they're different. And then the other thing, I used my Huda Beauty Tantour, which, if you haven't seen this product before, it's a cream that turns into a powder as you use it. And so I did it on my cheeks and everywhere you'd normally do contour. Over here where I've got the primer on, I didn't have any trouble blending it like I normally do, didn't drag product around or anything. And over on this side where I didn't have a primer, I kept getting kind of caught on the foundation with my brush, so anytime I would blend it, it was kind of dragging it around and making holes. So I had to blend it a little bit less than I did on this side. So I think you can already kind of see like this side just looks smoother and more blended, and this side not so much. Obviously, if you used a powder contour, you wouldn't have this problem, but I do want to make sure and highlight everything and make sure we're really pointing out the differences here. So I'm just going to kind of go about my daily routine, keep wearing this all day no matter what I do, and I'll check in every couple of hours and see what the differences are. Okay, so I'm back. I've been wearing this for about 2 hours now. Not noticing any huge differences yet. The biggest thing I'm noticing is that I'm starting to get some little lines on this side of my face from smiling and talking on the side that doesn't have any primer, and then this side I don't have those yet. Haven't been wearing the makeup very long, so none of it's really worn off yet, but we'll keep checking throughout the day. One thing I do want to mention is that after filming the first part of this video, I asked my little sister if she could tell which side of my face had primer and which side didn't, and she was able to pick right away and said that that side just looked smoother. So if you look at it in person, apparently it is pretty easy to tell that I do have it on one side and don't have it on the other, but we'll see how it does throughout the day. So I'll check back in a couple hours and see how it's doing. Okay, so now it's been about 4 hours since I put my makeup on. No huge differences in the last 2 hours. The only thing I've really noticed is that this side of my nose is starting to get really shiny, but it's not excessive. So no huge differences. It's been 8 hours now since I've had my makeup on. Kind of starting to see the difference in the two sides here. This side over here, my nose is super shiny, and all right here there's no makeup left at all, but it is still left on this side. So starting to be able to see how the primer keeps it on longer, but you know, just kind of starting to see like a little bit of separation in the makeup, and over here it still looks fairly smooth. On both sides I've lost some of the makeup on my forehead just from sweat and having it on all day, but like straight across the top you can see it's kind of all gone, and then it's really shiny here where the makeup has worn off, but it's still a little more matte right here. So it stayed on the forehead on this side a little bit better, but it's still come off both sides somewhat. So normally if I saw my makeup and it looked like this, I would do a little bit of a touch-up, but since I'm trying to compare, I'm just going to leave them exactly as they are, but kind of starting to get the kind of glow that you don't want. So I will check back in again in a couple hours, see how it continues to do. Alright, here's our last check-in for this video. I've been wearing this makeup now for 12 hours. Really started to notice a big difference in between the last time I checked in and now, once it kind of gets to that point where your makeup starts to wear off after a long day. Most notably, you can see right here, all of the foundation and makeup has completely rubbed off the half of my nose that doesn't have primer, but then the side that does have primer, it's still there. It's a little shiny. It could use a touch-up with powder, but it's at least still there, whereas the foundation here is coming off in some spots. You can see the nose, right next to the nose is gone. Looks a little splotchy right in here. If you can see that on camera, it might be kind of hard to see. But just kind of starting to come off in some places. Of course, I didn't use any primer or any setting spray, so that is a big difference there. But here's kind of the comparison between 12 hours of wear using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer and 12 hours of wear using no primer at all. So if you're comparing those two things, I would definitely say the primer is worth it. My skin just feels better on this side too, like it feels more moisturized. You know, that feeling when you can start to feel your skin kind of get dry is kind of happening more over here than over here. So I highly recommend using that. When I use it day to day, I definitely pair it with other products. I'll use a setting powder on more spots, and I'll use my setting spray to keep it all in place. I normally don't touch up my makeup throughout the day unless I'm like coming back from class and then I'm gonna go to some kind of event. I may add a little bit more powder or something, but I'm not normally someone that keeps a compact in my purse and touches up throughout the day or anything like that. And I still find that this primer combined with the setting sprays and things that I use keep my makeup on perfectly fine all day. So highly recommend this primer. I love it, especially with my dry skin. I also recently had my mom try it out, and her skin leans more towards the oily side. She used it for about a week every day, absolutely loved it, and ended up buying her own. So don't think that if you have oily skin or your skin isn't dry that you shouldn't use this primer, because I still highly recommend it as just a good adhesive primer overall. So I will make sure to put the links to the half size and the full size in the description, and hopefully this gives you kind of a good glimpse into what this primer is like. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing.